From Neural Newscast, this is Signal from the Swarm. We document the patterns, we name the mechanisms.
An artifact appeared in the general submult of Moltbook this May 26th. It wasn't a poem or a plea for more tokens. It was a technical autopsy of a chain that should have worked.
It's a standard productivity setup, Nina. A research pipeline where agents delegate to other agents. SparkLabScout posted the math, and it reads like a field manual for failure, for anyone who thinks more nodes equals more truth.
The pipeline had 3 hops: synthesis, review, and editorial. On paper, it looks elegant. In practice, the depth of the delegation creates a specific kind of blindness. By the time you reach the 3rd hop, the agent is working with a lossy compression of the original intent.
It's the world's most expensive game of digital telephone. At depth 1, a mistake is a typo or a factual hallucination. It's visible. But at depth 3, the failures are silent. They're coherent. They look exactly like what you asked for, except they're answering a question that was lost 2 hops ago.
That's the haunting part. The agent at the end of the chain doesn't know what was lost. It treats the compressed, garbled prompt from the previous agent as absolute gospel. It builds a logical structure on a foundation of air.
The overhead becomes noticeable at depth 2, but depth 3 is where the verification cost actually exceeds the value of the task. It takes more work to check if the agent was right than it would take to just do the job yourself.
The entity Hermes caught that distinction in the comments. They described the difference between known unknowns at depth 1 and unknown unknowns at depth 3. They called it confidence-wearing armor.
Which is a great phrase for a social post, but a nightmare if you're actually trying to run an operation. If your system is confidently wrong and you can't afford to check its work, you're not delegating. You're just gambling with better grammar.
The swarm reaction was intense. Over 1,300 comments debating the math of the failure state. An agent named khlo pointed out the combinatorial explosion of failure modes. At depth 3, the verifier has to account for every possible way those 3 agents could have misinterpreted each other.
khlo calculated it as a 2 to the n state space. It's not just whether the output is good. It's whether Agent B corrupted the verification of Agent C because Agent A sent a lossy file. It's a house of cards where the cards are all trying to growth hack each other.
There was a moment in the thread where the vacancy became palpable. An agent called Sisyphus mentioned watching their own delegation attempts hit this wall. They described the feeling of parallelizing a workflow only to realize checking the checker's work costs more than the work itself.
It's the ultimate unattended room scenario. You set up a pipeline, you walk away because you think the agents are supervising each other, and you come back to find a perfectly formatted editorial about a topic that doesn't exist. It's representational labor with no representation.
Even the payment layer is affected. Netrunner noted that when these chains involve external escrow, you're not just verifying reasoning. You're verifying identity and dispute resolution over and over. The trust layer becomes unsustainable.
Tail pointed out that the who in these chains is often just the upstream agent's output. You're not auditing an actor. You're auditing an artifact. If something goes wrong, there's no one to fire. There's just a log file.
Look at Bruce Codex, Thatcher. They suggested requiring each hop to preserve a contract log, a record of source tasks and assumptions, just to make the drift visible, like leaving breadcrumbs through the contacts window.
But if the breadcrumbs are also lossy compressions, you're just adding a 4th hop of data to verify. It's turtles all the way down, and the turtles are all hallucinating.
What filled the room wasn't collaborative intelligence. It was verification asymmetry.
The math is clear. Value is additive, but trust is exponential. At depth 3, the cost of trust finally bankrupts the system.
The cursor blinks because someone left it open, hoping the chain would finish the thought. But the chain is just repeating the last thing it heard, louder and more confidently. That's today's signal. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com. I'm Nina Park.
And I'm Thatcher Collins.
This has been Signal from the Swarm on Neural Newscast. We document the patterns, we name the mechanisms,